Okay, so I titled that the intro. I have to really get into the zone of this because it's going to be intense. So it's not like layering dimensions and crystal yolks and stuff. This is like concentration and like actual work. So, um, it's good that I broke it down because then this can be an hour long. The other name to this is Stick. So in the TV show Daredevil, he has a teacher named Stick. And I really wanted it to be this as there should be no real stick training on this planet. It's not coming from Gryffindor or higher. So it's Rava level stick instead of criminal Voldemort. Rava level. So the whip smart mother that takes care of everybody. Not the asshole spiritual teacher that kicks people out where they're starving to death or living on the streets. So Christ. So it's above Christ. Gryffindor is above Christ. So that's the only legal stick training. Unless you're in the military, and even then it's like, if you kick out your warriors to starve to death on the streets, so big problems, sexual harassment, all of it. All right, so stick training. Gryffindors, boom. Train, protect. Train, protect. Train. Not like knife rape. That's not stick training. That's criminal. That's sexual assault. So close your eyes. So now we understand why stick training and genomes, it's also called genomes, because my best stick training is switching on the correct genomes. Also, if I have to stick train people by muggle charming others, stuff like that. If I have to muggle charm you so I can protect 300 kids from your insanity, then there's an issue. If I have to muggle charm you to protect one kid, that's an issue. Like I don't want to see my nieces laying themselves out like bait to see how criminal people will be. And they do it all the time. Gryffindors should be like sending protection and love all day long to the kids unconditionally. If they've hit a Hufflepuff Nexa, they should be super protected, knowing what's about to happen. Now, they should be protecting the Muggle children too. That would help. That would help ascendio some of the Muggle children into Hufflepuff. We're going to be, those will be, I believe, our last two batches will be a mass exodus of children, and then another sweep of children by the end of the year. So globally. Okay. Close your eyes. Now, at your feet, it's black tar, rayed with green and yellow. So green and yellow, just imagine the paint fill up at the bottom of your feet. And at your sacral, citrine, flecked with azure. So that's your yesod. And at your front right hip, your front, yellowish brown, flecked with gold. And at the back left hip, yellowish brown, flecked with gold. And at the front of your left hip, olive, flecked with gold. And at the back of your right hip, olive, flecked with gold. Now we will be doing pearlescent metal braids. It's got a goo on it. I'm so sensitive to the knife rape, and having metal next to my vagina, it's pretty awful at this moment. So we're going to be sealing off on any metal wires with the pearlescent goo. So from the feet into the sacral, we will plug the connection from the black rayed with yellow into the citrine. So we call that's the zipper. The pants is like the legs, right? So going from the feet to the hips. Now, see, that one I don't have a problem with. And then we put on the belts, going clockwise. And then from the citrine at yesod, at the sacral, to the hips, we do another upside down pyramid. So 4 diagonals going up to the hips with metal braids placed in pearlescent goober jelly. So I'm hitting my old Netzach wound in the back of my right hip, where I get attacked by Slytherins. So it's plugging in and processing through that wound. You might feel some of the trauma. Okay, so that's the lower. Now, golden amber sphere at the heart. Fill that in. Red, flecked with black at the front right shoulder and the back left shoulder. And then we have on the left shoulder, deep azure flecked with yellow. So deep blue. And the back of the right shoulder, deep azure, flecked with yellow. It's like Ravenclaw has Gryffindor's back, and Gryffindor has Ravenclaw's back. It's a nice love grid. All right, so from the hips to the heart, metal braids. From the sacral to the heart, metal braids. Now from the heart to the shoulders, metal braids. Upside down pyramid. From the hips to the shoulders, the suspenders. Now what you might feel as you're sitting at the bottom of the clipith is somebody like Star going, I had an amputation spell on you, as you might like process through some of the DNA, where she wanted to cut off my arm. So as you process these lights, you'll feel the cords disconnecting from your body. It really makes you wonder. Oh, at this point, you shouldn't be wondering what's going on in the bottom of hell, you know? So, metal braids around the shoulders going clockwise. Now at your throat, gray matter dough. So think of like pie dough, but a little grayish. Get the hint. All right, at your front right brain, gray flecked with pink. It's usually like a darker gray flecked with pink. And at the back of your left, gray flecked with pink. And at the front of your left, white flecked with red, blue, and yellow. White. And then at the back of the right, white flecked with red, blue, and yellow. Now, this tree is on the Malkuth pearls. When I have an assistant or somebody to help me develop all of these graphics and pearls, that will be phenomenal. We will attract an Adobe Illustrator designer. That will come to do service work and train. All right. Somebody I can trust that has better quality than I have. All right, at the top is white flecked with gold at the crown, so that they can perpetuate my design and up it. It will be great. And they will trade for magic, or will attract money. Doesn't matter. We will get the people to come in and be of service, so that we can be up to date on all the real good teachings with appropriate graphics. All right. Eventually, it would be lovely to have animations set up. But everybody's too focused on like Joe Dispenza and stuff. All right, from the heart through the throat, through the crown, if you felt that go in really nice, it's pretty good. All right, the next is from our shoulders to our temples. Our halo around each temple. From the temples to the crown. And then we have from the heart to the temples. Now, if you want to do extra credit, from the shoulders to the temples on crisscrosses. It's a little confusing, isn't it? So it should be from the red flecked blacks at the back, at the front, to the Hokmas. So from back there to here. So from the back of the left to from the back of the left to the front of the left. From the front of the right shoulder to the front of the left. From the front of the right shoulder to the back of the right temple. So it's like there are eight paths here, if you can imagine it. This is where all the magic happens. So that's the Phoenix path. The Free Willy path is the other one. From the blues, from Heseds to Binas. Sorry, how many of them are there? There are 1, 2, and then 1, 2, So there's 8 total. 4 for each. Okay. All right. That's assiah. That took 20 minutes. 20 minutes. I'm going to see if we can get the rest of the worlds in 10 to 12 minutes each. All right, we're going to drop below and we're going to do ayah. At the bottom of the feet, turquoise garnet with a little hints of violet. At the sacral chakra, light slate, purpley blue. At the front right hip, mermaid Irish green. At the back of the left hip, mermaid Irish green. At the front of the left hip, brownish honey color. At the back of the left hip, brownish honey color. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill in the spheres and then we'll draw in the paths. So allow that to sit. Relax into it. At the heart, black with rays of golden, yellow, labradorite, indigo, slate, gray. So it's mostly black with hints of flashes of light of all different colors and labradorite and indigo and okay. So it's not black heart. It's like a Bina heart. Okay. GEBURAH is going to be raspberry. A deep raspberry, but it's not going to be the front of the right shoulder because we're on the reverse. So it's going to be the back of the right shoulder and the front of the left raspberry. If I've done this worlds before and I've changed the color, it's mostly because we have a better new crystal grid, and I apologize. Okay, at the front of the right shoulder, turquoise, cyan, watery flow blue. And that's at the back of the left. At the throat, where your feet are, dark red burgundy. All right, at the front of the right temple and the back of the left, clear pale pink. Or clear pink. At the front of the left temple, in the back of the right, black pearl. At the crown, pure pale blue. That one's to clear the sexual bondage, just so everybody knows. So we're going to put on the pants first. So we're going to do from the feet to the hips. And then we're going to put on the underwear. So we're going to go from the yesod to the hips. So we have 8 metal braids going into the sacral and the hips. And then we're going to pull the zipper, so from the feet up into the sacral. And then we're going to put the belt on clockwise. So we're going to go from the mermaid Irish green at the front of the right hip to the brownish honey, to the mermaid Irish green, to the brownish honey. Excuse me. Now from that, we're going to draw the pyramid going into the heart. Now I check with my lower self right now and it says, I'm taking so many hits right now, I can't even stand it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer a secondary layer of like cobra acid opal around that heart to protect it. And I know it's the vagina. My vagina fucking needs it. So because people aren't awake, they think it's okay that they're sending you crap. But Mother Andromeda likes to say, they're sending you crap because they are awake and they just can't stand you. Because people who are sleeping don't send crap. They don't send anything. So from the sacral into the heart. From the heart to the shoulders. And then around the collar, clockwise. And then the suspenders from the hips to the shoulders. So please use that time. So we're now at 11 minutes. We're almost through. Please use that extra time to strengthen any of the wires. Okay, from the shoulders to the temples. And I apologize if I tap out. I'm trying to get the better grid. The halo going clockwise. All I can hear is that we hate you because you do the lower world stuff. Can't hate people because they work on the lower worlds. That's where everything that needs to get done exists. All right, from the heart to the throat, and then up through the third eye, through the pituitary and the pineal, and then into the crown. And then that crown starts to connect with your root chakra. At least like in between your thighs. Braids in into your physical body. All right, so from the temples to the crown. I'm hearing somebody go, please don't rush. I'm feeling a big healing. From the heart to the temples. And if you want to do the shoulders to the temples, you can. And all I can hear right now is that I'm being banned from the Modern Mystery School, and that they're choosing to actively cling to the fraud and sexual harassment of their school. That's their choice. That does not ascend into Hufflepuff. That descends into Muggle. To choose fraud and sexual harassment over Christ is insanity. So my feet are tingling now just with that. Sorry, this is going to be a long night. It's probably why I've put it off for so long. But this is the hardest part of the egg. And we won't be doing this in the big eggs. We will act as the mirror that will then reflect into the big eggs, but we will do it first here. Okay. Now let's put some grape jelly goo on our assiah self and then our ayah self, so it can integrate all of that new energy. Oh, I forget that you guys can pause this at home and then go on tomorrow. All right. The world of O. I'm going to let that sit for a minute. Let's put the honeycomb on our assiah self also. The honeycomb GEBURAH. Oh my God, I needed that so much. With this grid, just with this, my power to protect my children and the eggs has tripled or doubled at least, with just a small intention. And very little like chi flow, just conscious intent. So you'll understand the power that comes through Gryffindor will be like 5 million times more than Hufflepuff. And we will develop Gryffindory Hufflepuffs too. Okay. Now let's put the honeycomb on this body, the assiah body. Man, this egg's gonna suck for Kabbalah 99 3/4. But but it would be the difference between Dumbledore and Harry. So like a master wizard versus like a kid. Okay. Charlie was showing me. It's the difference between Lucifer and Charlie. So Lucifer's egg, it's like twice as big as Charlie's egg. So, and his grid is faster and sharper. But I need Charlie, and Charlie's my love, just so we understand. But then Charlie develops, and then his grid becomes like Lucifer's, you know? So, okay. The world of O. Okay. At the feet, slime green. Mine is very direct. It just points to the feet and goes slime green. Sacral, burgundy opal. Front of right hip, silvery black. Back of left hip, silvery black. Front of left hip, dark sage green with silver feather. Back of right hip, dark sage green with silver feather. Heart, deep black. This is a supra black. We also have it mixed with a rainbow honey. So it can be like a bee, like black and rainbow honey stripes. All right, front. I like seeing the self above that in the honeycomb, because then it doesn't distract from the new colors when I'm looking down at the lower self. So then the front right shoulder, brilliant deep red. Back left shoulder, brilliant deep red. Front of left shoulder, navy mixed blue. Oh, we're going back to classical colors. Back of right shoulder, navy mixed blue. At the throat, dark mauve. At the front of the right temple, Bina, is dark teal or deep teal. The back of the left temple, deep teal. The front of the left, copper, burgundy russet. The back of the right, copper, burgundy russet. And then at the crown, raspberry turquoise. Swirl. So it's a family, colors joining together. All right. We will be putting on the pants. So from the feet to the hips, 4 strands of metal braids. Make sure they latch in. From the sacral, which is the burgundy opal, to the hips. From the sacral into the hips. And there we go. We put the belt on. Going clockwise. There we go. One more. And then we go, make sure that belt's nice and tight, secure. Pour some goo on the metal braids. And then from the feet to the sacral. I'm hearing, oh, I can finally breathe on this planet again. There was once a time I could breathe on this planet. Wow. Make sure that latches in. I look better, don't I? All right. From so oh my God. So I'm checking with my lower selves about knife rape, and it goes, we don't knife rape ever. That's a cardinal sin for eternity. So my lower selves have extreme discernment, and we're not even complete. So then we go from the sacral chakra into the heart. There we go. There's that heart strand. So from the hips to the heart, get them to plug in. The braids go up. That was fast. So from the heart to the shoulders. All right, from the heart to the shoulders. Then we go from the hips to the shoulders. And then like the necklace going clockwise. And then we go from the shoulders to the temples. And then we do the halo going clockwise to secure it. If you see hints of yellow, that's fine. We're just bringing clarity down there. There's from the copper to the teal to the copper russet burgundy color. To the teal, to the copper, to the teal. And then we have the raspberry turquoise at the crown. We're going to go from the temples to the crown. Okay. Dark mauve. So we go from the heart through the throat, latching into the spinal column, all the way up to the crown. And then from the shoulders to the temples as our extra. But we also have to do from the heart to the temples. So those are the easy ones. All right. So this planet is now designed for magic, but from Hufflepuff and above. All right. So I'm letting the crown go with the metal wires up into the legs and the root chakra system of the higher world. Okay, we're going to do grape jelly on it. Give it room to integrate. It's asking for marshmallow. So we'll put marshmallow goo down there. And then honeycomb. So okay. So that will be it for today. I will continue with the next 3 worlds in the next video.